So hello, my name is Rhianna, and today I thought I would rank all of the songs in Taylor Swift's new album, The Tortured Poets Department. So I have loved Taylor Swift for a long time. I'm not sure if this is the first time I heard a Taylor Swift song, but I have a memory of being in the car waiting for my parents to finish shopping, and I was listening to the radio and Love Story came on the radio, and I thought it was just like the best song I'd ever heard. And after that I researched Taylor Swift, I listened to Fearless, the album, and I became a big fan, and every time she released a new album I listened to it, and I really like how her music has sort of grown as I have grown. Like, I really related to her songs when I was a teenager, and now that I'm 26 I relate to the songs that she puts out, and yeah, she's great. And my favourite Taylor Swift album is Evermore. I love Evermore. I think my top 3 favourite songs by Taylor Swift are on Evermore. They are Evermore, Ivy and Champagne Problems, and I also love the feeling that Evermore gives off. I love the vibe. It feels very comforting to me and makes me think of forests and nature and stories. And so with this album, Tortured Poet Departments, I was really hoping to get songs that were in the similar vein to Evermore, and I think there are definitely songs that could fit on Evermore, and those songs, you won't be surprised to hear, are higher up in my ranking. And also I think I made this ranking earlier today, and perhaps if I made it yesterday or I made it tomorrow, the ranking would be different. I think it very much depends on my mood, on like what songs are my favourite and what songs I want to listen to. Like, I say Evermore is my favourite album, but like there are moments in time where I could say that Reputation is my favourite album, or 1989. I think that's what I love about Taylor's music, is I think there's kind of a song or an album for any mood that you're in. And so this is my ranking, but I think it could easily change, because at the moment it is Friday the 26th of April, so the album has only been out a week, and of course I haven't been able to listen to the songs like that much in the week, so maybe as I listen more, the order will change. But after a week of Tortured Poets Department being released, here is my ranking of all the songs. So, number 31, I'm Gonna Get You Back. And I thought I would include like my favourite line from each of the songs. So my favourite line from this song is "You'll find you were never not mine." And I put this one at 31 because one of the songs had to come last. And I still think this is a really good song. I'm sure I will listen to it many times. Coming at 30 is "I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can." And my favourite line from this is "I can fix him, no really I can, maybe I can't," which is what the song ends with. And I love the kind of Western feel that this song has. It feels like it could be played in a saloon in the Wild West. And again, a good song, but it's not my favourite on the album. 29 is "My Boy Only Breaks His Favourite Toys." And my favourite line is "I'm queen of sandcastles he destroys." And I love the metaphors in this song. Like how Taylor compares herself to a toy, and how she gets put back on the shelf, and how she gets taken out of her box. I think the metaphor is really well explored, and I think this song feels like it would fit really well on something like Reputation. And we have The Alchemy. Honestly, who are we to fight the alchemy? And I think I put this one so low because I just haven't had time to listen to it so much. I think if I listened to it more, maybe the order would change. But for the moment, this one is at 26. Next is Florida. Florida is one hell of a drug. And I love Florence and the Machine, another one of my favourite artists. And I think Taylor and Florence's voices go really well together. But for me, this song didn't feel so much like poetry. This song felt more like a pop song, which can be a good thing. I mean, it's a good song, but it didn't inspire me as much as other songs on the album did. Also, the like beats on Florida are quite loud and distressing, which I think is part of the point. You know, Florida is, you know, one hell of a drug. But it didn't feel particularly comforting, which is, you know, as I've said, my favourite songs by Taylor are the more like comforting, pretty sounds that she makes. Next is Fresh Out the Slammer. Handcuffed to the spell I was under for just 1 hour of sunshine. And I picked that line because it links back to Daylight and how she talks about her love was cruel and now it was like daylight. It was the perfect love. And This song highlights that actually that wasn't true. It was just 1 hour of sunshine. It wasn't a lifelong daylight at all. Next, Guilty as Sin. What if he's ridden mine on my upper thigh, only in my mind? And I picked this one because I love it when she says religiously and then the song feels like it's ended and then she comes back with that line and it's powerful and it hits you right in the heart. And I really like the theme that she's going with in the song. It feels more grown up than her earlier works, and yeah, it's nice to see that progression. Next is Tortured Poets Department, and I think this is just a tune. What a great song. I love the chorus when she's saying, you're not Dylan Thomas, I'm not Patti Smith, this ain't the Chelsea Hotel, we're two idiots. Next is Robin, and I really love slow ballad songs, and I love the line in this, you have no room in your dreams for regrets, because in this song she's like talking to a child, and it feels very sweet and emotional, and I haven't listened to it enough to really like fully give my thoughts on it, but in the couple of times I've listened to it, I've really enjoyed it. I look in people's windows, transfixed by rose golden glows. And this is such a nice little nugget of a song. It's the shortest song on the album, and it's about like looking for someone everywhere after you have lost them. And I think it captures that feeling really well, and I love this one. Clara Blow, you look like Taylor Swift in this light. We're loving it. I love the idea of this song and the vibe of this song. I think it's an apt song for the first half of the album to end with. I like how she's referencing these famous women over time, Clara Bow, Stevie Nicks and Taylor Swift, and how like the music industry or the entertainment industry as a whole likes to compare artists, particularly female artists, and it's not necessary because they're all individual and unique in their own way. Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. I love how like unusual this title is. When I first saw it, I was like, what is that song? And it makes sense now that I've listened to it. I love how she captures the feeling of not knowing what happens to a partner once your relationship has ended. Like you have social media, you can kind of like get glimpses of it, but you don't really know what's going on in their life anymore because the relationship is over and you don't see them anymore. And so she's sort of imagining this hologram of an ex-partner coming into the room and being with this other partner that they now have, who she has, like, you know, she doesn't know what their name is, so she's just speculating it might be Sam or Sophia or Marcus. I love it when she said, will that make your memory fade from the scarlet maroon? What a great reference to the song Maroon on Midnights, and also a reference to the recurring motif of red that she often uses in her songs. The smallest man who ever lived. You kicked out the stage lights, but you're still performing. And I think for me, the bridge is really the highlight of the song. It keeps going round in my head. I keep thinking of the line, I would have died for your sins, but I just died inside. You should get prison, but you won't get time. And she sings it so passionately and dramatically. And I love it when Taylor has like these angry bridges where it's really well done just all around. It's great to like sing your heart out to in your flat alone. Next, So High School. You know how to ball, I know Aristotle. I love how she's feeling like a kid again in this new relationship that she's in. Yeah, I don't have much more to say about that one. Thank you, Amy. One day your kid comes home singing a song that only us two are going to know is about you. I like how this is kind of a diss track, but it's written in such like a fun, happy way. And I think that's necessary for this song because it's showing that she's not really bitter about what happened. Instead, she's kind of saying like, thank you. Actually, it made me a stronger person. And I wouldn't have curated, for example, Reputation if it hadn't been for you, you know, tearing me down like you did. And I think it's very normal as a human being to want to take pain and to like make yourself like not be beaten by it, but make yourself sort of rise up from the ashes of it. And this song sort of encompasses that feeling. But Daddy, I love him. And I love the line, I'll tell you something right now, I'd rather burn my whole life down than listen to one more second of all this bitching and moaning. I love the storytelling in the song. I think it reminds me of the songs that she wrote on Speak Now, like something like the Song Speak Now, where she tells a real story through that song. And this song is no different. You can really sort of imagine the setting. She's running with her dress unbuttoned, screaming, "Daddy, I love him." Like, it creates so many images in my mind, and I love it when a Taylor Swift song does that, because she does it so well. Next is Fortnight. I was supposed to be sent away, but they forgot to come and get me. When I first listened to this song, I must admit I was a bit taken aback, because I was really expecting the Tortured Poets Department to be something more similar to like Folklore and Evermore, because even though I think the latter half of the album, and some of the songs in the first half, are a similar vibe to Folklore and Evermore, I think there's also quite a Reputation vibe and a bit of a Midnights vibe, and I think this song has more of a similar vibe to those sort of songs. And so I was quite surprised when I started the album and heard this kind of sound that I wasn't expecting. But the more I listen to this, the more I really love it. I love the idea of like being with someone for a fortnight and then just being completely wrecked by it. I also love the idea of like the after a relationship being like a bit crazy and being in a hospital to recover from the relationship. And I think this song sort of captures that idea, and the music video captures that idea too. Down Bad. I love Down Bad, crying at the gym. Everything comes out, teenage petulance. I think this is just a really good tune. I love it. What a great pop song. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Again, a very good pop song. Fake It Till You Make It, and I Did. I think this is such a good one to dance to when you're at home, on your own, in your flat. I think Taylor Swift is just so good at writing like these lyrically beautiful melodies and also these like great bangers. She can do both. Next is the manuscript, which I particularly love as a writer myself, because I think it's true that once you've finished writing something, it sort of isn't really yours anymore. You give it to the people who read it, and they can have their own ideas about what it's about and make their own interpretations about it. And then once they do that, it's not really yours because it's theirs. And I like the idea of writing something and then sort of being free from it because you've written it. It's now on paper. You can put it out into the world or put it into a drawer and like try and move on from that feeling. And that can only be done if it's written down, because otherwise it's still like in your head. Once you've written it down, it's like you can take it out your head. Cassandra. I love how this song starts. I was in my new house planting daydreams. What a great line. And I know that I'm just gonna love this song. I've only listened to it a couple of times, but I know that I will love it and know all the words soon once I listen to it more. Now on the top 10. Yay! And actually, I've just realised that only 2 of these songs are from the first album. The rest are from the second album, which is interesting. So at number 10 we have The Bolter. I love the story in this song. I love how she's saying like this character who keeps failing in relationships, keeps bolting from relationships, but like it's because she hasn't found the right one, you know? And as she was leaving, it felt like breathing. At number 9, The Prophecy. And I haven't written down the quote, but I think it's something like, I don't need money, just someone who wants my company. And the whole song is about how it feels like there's a prophecy for her to never have a successful relationship. And she's like saying, please, I just want someone who enjoys my company. I don't want this to be my prophecy anymore. I want to find someone who I can just be with and love and enjoy my time with. And I think, what a great song. Number 8 is I Hate It Here. I hate it here, so I will go to secret gardens in my mind. And I love it when poems or books look at the idea of using your imagination to soothe pain and how it is a form of escapism, because I think that has been true at moments in my life where I've been unhappy. My imagination has saved me. And this song is so pretty and it looks at that idea and I love it. At number 7, How Did It End? Come one, come all, it's happening again. And I thought this was one of the saddest lines on the album, actually, because she sings it like it was an inevitability. It was like, of course it's happening again. Of course the relationship ended. Like it never works out. And I like how the song explores how when a relationship ends, people are natural gossipers and they want to know how it ended. but sometimes there isn't a clear-cut reason why something ends. And number 6, LOML, which is both Love of My Life and Loss of My Life. Just such a good ballad. A very sad song. Very well done. Number 5, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? You wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me. And I saw someone comment on the lyric video of this on YouTube that, you wouldn't last an hour in the asylum that they raised me. What, a Christmas tree farm? Which is just like completely missing the point. I can imagine growing up, well, because Taylor Swift did pretty much grow up in the music industry, I can imagine it is a difficult experience. And also the song is fantasy. I mean, I don't think she really believes that it was like an asylum. It's like a metaphor. She's saying, I'll leap from the gallows and levitate down your street. She's not really saying she's going to levitate down your street. And I think this is kind of an anthem for anyone who feels like wronged in the past, and they can now be like, you should be afraid of me because I'm a strong person. Next we have Peter. As the men masqueraded, I hoped you'd return. I love how this song links to Peter Pan, and also links to Cardigan, which references Peter Pan. And I think it's such a sad song, really, about this woman, possibly Wendy, who is waiting for Peter to return, and he never does. And the song made me think about how there are these stories I used to love when I was a kid, and now as an adult I've forgotten a lot of them. And this song is kind of about that too. How you can have a love as a child and then maybe wait for that love as an adult, but you're an adult now. Now we've got to the top 3. So coming at number 3 is So Long London. And I love so many lines from this. I've written, and you say I abandoned the ship, but I was going down with it. Also, you sacrificed us to the gods of your bluest days, and I love this place for so long, London. And the song is just nearly perfect in my eyes. I think it's about Taylor leaving London and kind of reflecting on her time there and how much she loved it, and how she is bitter for having to leave it because it's now scarred for her because the relationship has ended and therefore it's not the same place anymore. And I think that it's easy to relate to that, leaving a place because you just don't fit there anymore because things have changed. And number 2 is that albatross. Wise men once said, wild winds, a death to the candle. This is how the song opens. And I love those melodies, love the words, love the lyricism. And this song feels like almost a sister to Ivy, which is one of my favourite Taylor Swift songs ever. It feels like it would fit very much on Evermore. And I love its links to Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Coleridge, which is a book I studied a lot when I was at school. And to me, this is very much a poem as well as a song, and I love it. And now we have reached my favourite song from the Tortured Poets Department by Taylor Swift. And it goes to The Black Dog. For me, this song is written really beautifully. It sounds so beautiful. It's also not one note, like it has different layers to it. I love when it says old habits die screaming, and the screaming part is dramatic compared to the rest of the song, which has more of a sad, pretty feel. And I love this one. I love the metaphor of the black dog, how it's a pub, but also it could represent depression if you looked at it in a certain light. And this is my favourite from the album. So, I have now been through all 31 songs from Taylor Swift's new album, The Tortured Poets Department. I love this album, I love Taylor Swift, and I just feel like her music is so beautifully written and well made, and there are so many songs that have different ideas and themes, and there are songs that I relate to, also songs that I don't relate to so much, but that are so much fun to listen to. And yeah, I think there's a reason she's so popular. Her songs are just great. So thank you for watching. Let me know. Do you have a favourite song from this album? Could you manage to rank them? Or is it too difficult? Because they're also good. And I'll see you in another video soon. Bye bye.